Former president denies supporting President Buhari's re-election bid. Army cautions personnel over use of social media. Nigerian workers demand review of national minimum wage. And in sports, former Chelsea and Man United players warn Zidane ahead of anticipated clash. I am Nten Ekpan with the AM News on Television, Nigerian. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has denied the allegation that he is supporting the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. A statement by his media aide Kehinde Akinyemi in Ogun State described the report as malicious and unfounded. He also denied the claim that Obasanjo met with some leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress at his house in Abuja. Akinyemi said his boss was neither in Abuja on May 1, nor does he own a house in the Federal Capital Territory, as he usually stays in a guest house or hotel anytime he visits. The media aide maintained that the position of the former president remains unchanged, as stated in a statement he issued on the State of the Nation in January. According to him, Nigerians know that Obasanjo has only spoken the truth about poverty and will continue to exercise his right to free speech. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, on Wednesday failed to appear before the Senate the second time, sending Joshak Habila, the Deputy Inspector General, to represent him. TVN News correspondent completes the story.
The Senate had on Thursday summoned the Inspector General of Police to appear in the chamber after failing to appear over the arrest and detention of Senator Deno Melaye and the killings across Nigeria. For the second time, the chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Abu Ibrahim, reported during plenary that the Inspector General have traveled to Kaduna to assess the security situation, thereby sending a Deputy Inspector General of Police to represent him. The lawmakers registered their displeasure with the inability of the IGP to honor invitations by the Senate.
We need to register the displeasure of the Senate for the non-appearance of the Inspector General of Police on two incidents, where he was invited into this chamber. Now, if we begin to have this kind of conduct, I will say, with due respect, that it is assaulting our collective resolve as a Senate to assist Mr. President.
I want to appeal to our colleagues. Let us approach this two ways. One way, we give him another period of time for him to reflect the enormity of the action, because whatever happens today sets a precedent for the future. And as such, it is important that we do not allow, when issues like this, we must ensure that the right thing is done.
Thereafter, the Senate directed the Committee on Police Affairs to look into the situation and report back within 1 week. In another development, the Senate condemned attacks on legislators for expressing their views on the floor of the Parliament. This followed a point of order cited by Senator Matthew Urogide, who told the senators how thugs attacked him in his state for speaking about the breaches inherent in the procurement process of 12 Tucano jets by the executive.
What I said was that we should revoke Section 143. Section 143 has prescribed different things to be said. I'm not ignorant of the provisions of this section of the Constitution. That signatures and all of that will have to be done. Investigations will have to be conducted along the way. But for somebody to work on it and mobilize thugs in my state, to lay in wait for me, to humiliate me, to do unto what is to me, was most unacceptable.
President of Senate Bukola Saraki consequently mandated the chairman of Police Committee to engage with the police on the issue and give a progress report. He emphasized that the legislative powers and privileges gives lawmakers immunity on their views in the chambers.
We must condemn any act of molestation, harassment, attack based on our views in this floor of the legislative houses. The Legislative House Powers and Privileges Act, which is an act that exists, signed by the President and is under Section 3, we have immunity from our views and our proceedings here. So I think that I'll be speaking, I'm sure, on behalf of all of us to condemn that such an act. It's unfortunate that we have such an act where people are molested, harassed by expressing their views here.
Senator Matthew Urogide has cited Order 43 and raised a point of order on the molestation and assault by recruited hoodlums in his state. Charles Ibe, TVN News, Abuja.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, has cautioned Army personnel over disclosure of classified information on social media. Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, who was represented by the Chief of Policy and Planning, Major General Rashid Yusuf, stated this during the opening ceremony of the 2018 Officers Office Management and Document Security Workshop at the Command Officers Mess in Abuja. The Chief of Administration, Major General Idris Al-Khali, while stating the essence of the workshop in an interview with journalists, also reaffirmed the Chief of Army Staff's move to curtail the abuse of social media by Army personnel, especially with regards to document security and exposure of classified information serving as threat to national security.
The social media has brought out additional challenges to information security, which are being used by misguided personnel contrary to our service rules. The Nigerian Army has an extant policy on the use of social media which prohibits, among others, the use of social media to discuss or disclose service matters. It is indeed very unfortunate and unprofessional for service personnel to resort to social media to disclose classified information or express grievances when the NA has well-established channels for addressing complaints. I want you to therefore take particular note of the presentations that will highlight inherent risks associated with the use of social media and the step you must take not to compromise information as officers. I have already initiated a process that could lead to the establishment of a directorate in the Nigerian Army that will focus solely on the management of social media in the service.
If you recall the Chief of Army Staff vision, is to have a professional, responsible Nigerian Army. So it's unprofessional for any officer or soldier to disclose any official information without authorization.
The May Day celebrations was marked with a rally at the Eagle Square in Abuja and presented an opportunity for organized labor, student bodies and civil societies to harmonize and advocate for better working conditions for Nigerian workers. For traders at the event, it was an opportunity to make brisk business. TVN News correspondent Juliet Uduji tells us more.
Workers all over the world celebrated the Workers' Day, also known as May Day, when workers come together to synergize for the common goal. In Abuja, the federal capital city, Nigerian workers converged at the Eagle Square to commemorate this year's Workers' Day. The event featured activities, rallies, and agitation for a better working condition. In attendance were organized unions, professional bodies, students, marketmen and women, as well as members of other civil societies organizations. They called up the government to review the national minimum wage.
All hope is not lost because we are still trusting that things will be okay, especially in respect of the minimum wage. We just had some public hearings a few days ago in all the various states of the Federation. It was categorized into 8 zones, which we participated, FCT inclusive, and we are asking for a review of the minimum wage to 66,500.
Traders of various wares, food vendors to list few, took position in their various stands and corners, which they maximized as a medium to make brisk business.
Because I know that if I come here, a lot of people will come here and I will sell market. Today the program is nice. People come sharp. They bring support. So the market is good.
It is hoped that the government, with the workers, both civil and public sectors, to achieve a better working condition for the country. In Abuja, Juliet Uduji, TVN News.
After the break, embattled Senator Dino Melaye rearrested by police. Former Chelsea and Man United players warned Zidane ahead of clash. More news when we come back. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. The senator representing Kogi West, Senator Dino Melaye, has been rearrested by the police. The senator was arraigned before a magistrate's court in Wuse Zone 2, Abuja, amid heavy presence of police officers. He was arraigned on charges bordering on his alleged escape from a police vehicle in Abuja on April 24, 2018. The presiding magistrate, Mabel Shegun granted him bail in the sum of 90 million naira. Melaye's lawyer, Nkem Okoro, reportedly noted that his client met the bail conditions granted by the court, but the senator was rearrested by the police on the court premises. Former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand and Chelsea legend Frank Lampard have warned Zinedine Zidane that Liverpool would destroy Real Madrid should they meet in the Champions League final later this month. Zidane's men booked their place in a third consecutive final following a 4-3 aggregate win over Bayern Munich at the Bernabeu. A dreadful goalkeeping error from Bayern goalkeeper Steven Ulrich and some wayward finishing ultimately cost the Bundesliga champions victory. And Ferdinand has warned Zidane that his side could fall like a pack of cards if he persists with a 4-4-2 formation. Malawi's anti-corruption agency has declared that newly returned former President Joyce Banda was still under investigation over the massive graft scandal while she was in office. Banda returned to Malawi at the weekend after 4 years of self-imposed exile, saying she had done nothing wrong and had no fear of being arrested. But Malawi's Anti-Corruption Bureau dismissed claims that she had been cleared of all allegations over the Cashgate scandal in which officials siphoned off millions of dollars of public money. Since her return, Banda, 68, has said that the allegations against her were politically motivated. Banda, who may launch a presidential bid in 2019 elections, was greeted by hundreds of supporters of her People's Party when she arrived in Blantyre Airport on Saturday. And that has been the AM News on Television Nigerian. The headlines once again. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo denies supporting President Buhari's re-election bid. Army cautions personnel overuse of social media. Nigerian workers demand review of national minimum wage. And in sports, former Chelsea Man United players warn Zidane ahead of anticipated clash. Do remember that there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. I am Antan Ekban. Good morning and thanks for watching.